What's going on, guys? It's Jaren from WearTesters.com. Today we have a performance review on the Under Armour Curry 2 Low. Before we get into the review, let me tell you one thing. The Curry 2 Low does a lot of what the Curry 2 Mid does exactly the same. So while I'll touch base on these a little bit in this review, if you want a more in-depth look at these categories, head over to my initial review of the Curry 2, as the performance is exactly the same for these particular categories. All right, guys. Let's do this. So like I said, the Curry 2 Low does a lot of what the Mid does exactly the same. And these things are traction and cushion. Now, the traction is exactly the same, nothing different. It's gonna cover you at all directions, no matter what floor condition you may come across, with the exception of outdoor surfaces. It just doesn't perform quite as well as it does indoors, which is okay. It's just not a great outdoor option. As far as the cushion, it's definitely a guard-friendly cushion setup, as it's very responsive and you get pretty good court feel. If you're an explosive player or someone that needs a lot of impact protection or likes a bounce in their step, the Curry 2's charged foam cushion setup may leave something left to be desired, but that doesn't mean it's a bad cushion setup. It just means it's an acquired taste, maybe. These are all the things the Curry 2 does exactly the same. So again, if you want an in-depth look at the cushion or traction, head over to my initial review. The link is in the description. All right, let's talk about what the Curry 2 Low does differently from the Mid. As you can tell, it's a low top, but you could also see that the materials on the Curry 2 Low are vastly different. Now, the upper is a mesh-like material that's extremely comfortable, especially when you're flexing in the forefoot, and is actually comparable to woven materials such as Jordan Brand's Performance Woven Upper or Adidas's Prime Knit. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not as good as a woven upper, but from a comfortability standpoint, it's pretty darn close. At the end of the day, the materials on the Curry 2 are amazing, and it actually has me confused as to why they didn't use this in the Mid. I get it, the synthetic fuse overlay gives you more structure and support, but never once did I feel like the upper on the Low was flimsy or didn't support me in the way I wanted it to. It's actually very comfortable. So if we're going versus the materials on the Low or the Mid, definitely the Low. Now, the fit in the Curry 2 Low is almost identical to the Mid. And when I say almost, I mean it's slightly better. In the Mid, there was a little bit of dead space in the toe box area, and the new material used on the Low eliminates this dead space and overall hugs a little bit closer to your foot to give you that nice one-to-one fit. As for everywhere else in the shoe, it's just pretty much identical, but again, it just fits a little bit closer, which is something that I really like because I feel extra fast when the shoe is extra close, if you know what I mean. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for, the support section. This category is crucial when you're evaluating a low top sneakers, because there are people that absolutely love low top sneakers no matter what, but then there are other people that only like a low top sneaker if it does the job right. So the question is the Curry 2 Low a low top sneaker that everyone can love? The answer to that question is probably not. As I mentioned in the material section, the heel is a completely new material that wasn't found on the Mid, but is familiar to other models that use speed form technology. It's a neoprene mesh type like material that isn't very structurally sound, and Under Armour used this same exact heel cup from the Mid onto the Low, and it just quite frankly doesn't get the job done. At times, the heel is gonna feel like nothing is there. And this is a really cool feeling if you're a forefoot heavy player. If you rely on hop steps and pivots, this heel area just doesn't get the job done. The flimsy heel cup, on top of the fact that the heel does have a little bit of slippage, is just unacceptable in my opinion. Now, if you're a low top lover, you're gonna love the Curry 2 Low. It's not a bad low top. But for the people and players that like a low top when it works extremely well, might not like the Curry 2 Low. As for me, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. So at the end of the day, Under Armour did improve on a couple of things on the Low from the Mid. The fit is slightly better and the materials are leagues better. And hopefully Under Armour can convince Steph Curry that this type of material is the way of the future, so we get no synthetic fuse overlay on future signature models. As for the support in the Low, it takes a half step back from the Mid, as the flimsy heel cup and heel slippage in the back end of the Curry 2 Low just isn't for everyone. If you're a forefoot heavy player, then great, you're probably gonna have no problems with the Curry 2 Low, But again, if you're an explosive or powerful player, the Curry 2 Low just doesn't get the job done. Anyways, guys, that takes care of the performance review for the Curry 2 Low. If I left anything out or you have any questions, go check out my full written review at weartesters.com. The link will be in the description box below, or you can leave a comment and ask me yourself. My name's Jaron. It's been cool having you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. We're not quite sure what happened, but the outdoor performance just isn't on par with how it performs indoors. Just going by looks, like if these were two girls in the club, like I'm probably going over here a little bit. Yeah, she's getting a drink for sure. As for this one, like, you're nice, but just get home safe.